Hey everybody, welcome to the Gabbard Apiary. It is March 2nd, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's 60 degrees or so. The sun is shining bright, the bees are active. They're all over my bird feeders, and everybody else's bird feeders keeps texting me about, I've got a bee question, let me guess. So I'm going to check them today. I weighed them all yesterday. There were a couple that were a little light that I'm going to look at a little closer. But otherwise I'm just going to go through each one, give them a little pollen patty, and just kind of see how they're doing. Most of them should be pretty much broodless. I want to make sure, see how their honey stores are visually as opposed to the weight. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll bring you along. Okay, here comes hive number 1. This one's a hive hugger hive, so got a little extra tape to get through here. And we're at the point in the season where I don't think we need it anymore, so bees on top. I had opened this one up earlier in the season. This one's got kind of a deep lip, and the bees were getting past the reflectix, so we're just going to leave it right there. I'm going to give them a little warning. There are bees on all frames. If I can get them to move off the edges here a little bit. Hope you don't mind the neighbors going to town on some deadfalls at his place. With his chainsaw. Nice frame of bees. There's not hardly anything on this frame. No eggs or nothing. Check out another one. Patch of honey there. Empty on this side. This hive, for whatever reason, has just a ton of propolis. Okay, there's a patch of brood. And there's a queen. This is an F1 roofer's queen with the red dot there. Nice brood on both sides. She is nice and fat. I gotta get a photo of her if I can. Need her to crawl back to a safe place. Not the bottom of the frame, preferably. Okay, there she should be safe. Oh, there she is. Cheese. Cheese. Well, I got one photo of her. Alright, these guys are starting to get a little unhappy. So, time to go back to bed. With hive number 3, which is also known as tar paper number 4 in the Broodminder software. So, plenty of bees up top. Just gonna let them know I'm coming a little bit. We've got bees on all frames up here in the top box. I'm just going to set this down gently. Leave those bees right on the board. Nice population. I'm going to pull the center frame. Check for brood, and maybe we'll get lucky and see a queen. So these bees are an F2, or I'm sorry, an F1 free queen from an Italian that was very calm, and they are still very calm. There's a couple of baby bees on here. No eggs on this frame, just a tiny little bit of honey in the corner, which is not surprising. As long as I'm in here, I'm going to go one more. Oh yeah, there's some brood. Baby bees and brood. There's our queen. The red dot on her back. So we've got about a hand-sized patch of brood on this side, and then just kind of a scattered, maybe palm-sized, maybe hand-sized patch over here. So they are beginning to brood. I'm going to put this frame back very carefully. With their nice queen on there. I'm also going to put this one in very carefully. Alright, now I can look down here and see I've got a frame of honey here. I can see some honey here. I can see some honey here. So they're fine on honey. I'm going to give them some pollen patty. Next to the brood they're raising, and seal them back up. That's all I need to see. We'll just let them continue to winter. And we're gonna say they're in good shape. Okay, this one's a 3 deep hive. Polystyrene reflectix set up. Not many bees up here under the top cover. Let's see what's going on inside. We definitely have there's some mold on the wood up here, so I didn't have a moisture board. All I had were these foam with chicken feed bag glued onto it, and that looks like it held some moisture in there and caused some mold. So I think next year I'm going to make sure I get a moisture board in. Alright, let's see how they're doing here. Plenty of bees up there in that third box. Now last fall it was pretty well full of honey up here in this third box. Let's see what it looks like now. Oh boy. There's some brood up here. Look at that huge patch of brood. And there's plenty of honey on this frame. Lots of good brood. They're not too happy that I'm in here. That's all I need to see, really. Not gonna make them any madder than they already are. Except I just did, or the wind just did. Knocked that cover over. So I'm just gonna give them that pollen. Seal them back up. Okay, this will be hive 7. It's a tar paper hive, tar paper number 2. This is another one that was a little bit light on honey when I weighed it yesterday. So we're going to peek and see what's actually going on. Plenty of bees up top. Let them know I'm coming a little bit. We're gonna see if they're brooding and how their honey stores really look. Bees on all frames, decent population there. Knock them down a little bit. Knock them down a little smoke too. And pull a frame out of the middle and see how they're doing. This one I've got 9 frames on the top, so that makes it a lot easier for me to pull frames out. And that is a patch of brood, man. This side's even better. Don't see the queen right now. Get him to move for you. That is really good. They've got some wet nectar here in the corners. I'm guessing it's probably honey that they've moved in from the outsides. I'm going to set this down for just a second. No brood there. No brood there. No resources either. Another frame of brood. There's our queen. She's getting fat. All these queens are really fattening up. So I'm gonna put her back. I'm gonna put her brood back. Excellent. So this is a Lloyd Street mated queen, and she's rocking it. I want to see how the honey is over here. If I can find a frame that's empty. This does not feel empty. It's empty on that side, but it's pretty full on that side. That frame is solid honey on that side. And that side too. So just between these two outside frames, they've got plenty of honey for a month. So I am not worried about them, at least not right now. Just kind of put them back together and let them keep doing their thing. Now they've got a little pollen to help them along. With this warm weather, they've really started brooding early, which, I don't know, good or bad. It's good and bad, right? Weather could get them if we get a pretty bad cold snap, although we kind of just had a decent one at 0 degrees for a while, or close to 0, for like 2 or 3 days, and obviously that didn't hurt them. So, but that also means any mites in there have this much longer to brood this season. Summer, or if their season started in mid-February and they get to go all the way through October, well, that's a long mite breeding season, so we don't like that, but certainly good for the bees for breeding too. Alright, here comes hive number 11, which is also tar paper number 3. You can see in the back here maybe there's moisture on the inside of these flaps. Plenty of bees up there. And I don't know if you can tell, maybe if I give a little shadowy, this used to be smooth, right? But now it's kind of rough and wavy, bubbly, whatever you want to say. It's absorbed moisture over the season. You can also see the bees have started to chew at the edges a little bit. So the moisture board is absorbing moisture. These bees are already wanting to fly up and say hello, so we'll pop them with a little smoke there. What are we at here? We're at hive 11. Decent amount of bees on all frames. They were already a little testy, so I'm not gonna bang them off. I am gonna pull a frame and see what's going on in here. This is a roofer's F1 queen in here. We've got a little honey in the corners, no brood. A little bit of honey in a corner. No brood. Set you down. Have a look at another one. This one's this frame. This frame is loaded with honey, so is the one next to it, so is the one next to that, so I'm not going to go this way anymore. I'm going to check this one though. There's our brood. There's our queen. They're nice and fat, these queens. There's a nice hand-sized patch of brood there. There's probably a hand-sized patch of brood there. So they are also doing just fine. So that's good. Okay, here's hive number 13, which is also tar paper 1. And we've got a little hitchhiker caterpillar on there. This is a Bolton Bees queen. They were doing pretty good, pretty heavy. Or is this? Who are you? Pretty sure it's the Bolton Bees. Plenty of bees in there. Let's see if there's any brood. They're not too happy right now. I can see honey, 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 honey. Honey, honey. They got plenty of honey in here. Let's see if they have any brood. Frame of honey. Here's a frame of brood. There's our queen. This is actually a Lloyd Street Virgin. The green dot that I was never able to find last year and mark red. Now of course I find her and I don't have a marker or a queen catcher, but that's okay. It's good to see her. She's got a hand-sized patch of brood. Sure would like to get a photo of her. Okay, I'm going to put her back. So this was not Bolton Bees, this is a Lloyd Street Virgin. from Trevor Bodden that got mated here. And is doing well. So, oops, let's put them back together. Okay, folks, here comes my 555 nuke. They, by weight, I don't really have a great tear weight for this equipment right now, but just eyeballing it and guessing, it seemed like they might be a little light on honey. So we're gonna check and see what's going on. Plenty of propolis in there. Well, as long as that one wanted to come out, then we'll take it. There is some honey in there. A little bit of wonky comb from last season. But not much on that frame. Let's see if there's something here. This frame's pretty heavy. Good frame of honey. That's good to see. This frame's got some honey on it. This one was like a, what do you want to say, 2/3 foundation I did so they could build some drone comb on the bottom, which they did. But they also started building a little wonky, so I'm gonna see if I can change their mind on that. No brood here. I'm pretty sure there's going to be no brood there. I see bees down in the second box. Looks like there's honey in this frame. Okay. My fears are relieved on food. I think they're going to be alright. So I'm just gonna put them back together. They will live. There's no brood up here in the third, but that's not too alarming, I guess. I'm gonna give them some pollen patty. Maybe they'll get some brood going up here. Well, that's the 3D nuke. It wasn't too exciting, I guess, but they're alive. There's plenty of bees, and there's enough honey to get them by for a month, so I'm gonna let them go. Okay, here is hive number 14, which is also hive hugger number 1. Okay, and these guys, weighed them yesterday. Supposedly, according to my spreadsheet and my tare weights, supposedly they might only have like 16 pounds of honey left. They're the lightest hive I have. So let's see how they're really doing. And it looks like the Reflectix kept them down. Looks like a handful of bees got by it and died up here, but looks like there's a lot of bees up here. Nice to see. Set that aside. I'm gonna smoke them down a little bit. Okay, it's already on the sides. It doesn't look like there's honey. Let's pull one out of the center first. I know, most people pull them out of the side first to make room, but I don't want to disturb all these frames. Okay. Oh yeah, there's some brood in there. There's our queen. Nice fat queen. These queens are fat, and you can see the brood pattern. This brood has already hatched, and she's starting to fill in the middle of that patch again. Same on this side. There's eggs and larvae in the middle, and there's all kinds of eggs outside of it. Okay. She's a good looking queen. Alright, I'm going to put you back. See some honey in the corners of the next one. I see some honey in the corners of that one too. So we're going to get her back here nice and gentle. And I am going to check for honey. This looks like a frame of honey. The next one looks like a frame of honey. This one I can see some honey. Honey there. I'm going to trade this one out for a really full frame. Okay, this one's thinner. There's not as much honey on it, but there's more on it than what was on theirs that I took out, so. Just a little honey insurance. And give them some pollen patty. Alright, well this one's doing okay. I'm not worried about it anymore. They've got more honey than it seemed, so at least enough. Okay, here comes hive number 12, which is hive hugger 2. And it looks like a few bees made it past the reflectix and died up here. Probably 24 or so. Excellent population. Already flying up at me, so let's send them down a little bit. And there's a sandhill crane on March 2nd flying over top. A lone crane. Okay, just looking, I got honey here, honey here. Hard to tell there. So there's some honey in the hive. I'm gonna take this one, nuke. It's light, which hopefully means brood. There is some brood there. And let's see if there's plenty of brood here too. And here's a queen. This is a Lloyd Street virgin that got mated here. I don't know if you can tell, but she had the green dot, and I put a red dot over it, but they wore that off and the green dot remains. So I gotta get a photo of that if I can. Well, she is another fat queen. Okay, where'd she go? She's right there. She's beautiful. She's got kind of a tiger stripe thing going on. I'm gonna move aside for me a little bit here. Hopefully I picked a good spot. There's a bunch of burr comb on the bottom of this. We'll mash it down. There we go. You can see there's a little moisture on the inside of that. On the crown. Alright, number 12 is doing good. Okay, here comes hive number 10. And this one, I wanted to take a special look at. There's my hive tool over there again. I wanted to take a special look at number 10 because based on the broodminder data, these guys were really fluctuating with temperature. You'd almost think they were a tar paper hive. One thing I'm noticing right away is there's a lot of moisture up here on the crown, and the top cover, the inner cover, is just saturated with moisture. I don't think the other ones were like that. You can poke your hive tool in and water just oozes out. So let's see if there's anything different here. Yeah, it just smells wet. So there is a good population of bees though. Yeah, they look pretty nice. Bees on all frames. I'm starting to get low on smoker fuel. I have to go on a resupply run. Okay, what have we got? We got some angry bees. We got a good bit of honey. This is a honey frame and a lot of open cells, but no brood. Let's see if there's any brood anywhere else. This one looks like maybe it could hold some brood. Honey, some pollen, honey, a lot of open space. There's some wet nectar or honey here. Honey on the next frame. Oh, nothing this direction. Let's try going the other way on this acorn frame. There's a queen. She's got her head in a cell. And there's some patch of brood on that side. There's a very small patch of brood on this side. She's kind of a stubby queen. She's, if you can see her there with the red dot. She's on her brood. There's some open larvae here. What do I see on the next one? The next one looks like honey and a lot of open, so this might be kind of the only brood they have. That's okay. Not supposed to have much right now anyways. Except the warm weather has kind of turned them on early. So I guess I don't really see much in the way of an explanation as to why the temperature swings more on this hive and why it would be so wet on this hive. But see a little mold there. Well, they seem to be doing okay, so we'll just put them back together and Let them do their thing. Oh, yeah, I gave them pollen. Okay, here's the 3 deep, hive number 8. Foam and Reflectix. Not a ton of bees under the outer cover, but let's see what's going on in here. Decent amount of bees in there. Up in the 3rd deep. They're not moving real fast. Let's see if I can pick a good frame to move. Not a ton of room to be had up here. They've waxed and propylized everything. Any gaps? Let's see if I can get this one out. Come on. Slowly but surely. We got honey and a lot of open cells up here. This is a heavy frame of honey. I've got some space open for brood, a queen cup. More honey there. Plenty of bees down below. Another heavy frame. Now we're getting into a little bit of brood. So, very small patch here. Lots of honey. Another very small patch there with lots of honey. So, just looking at the 3rd box, this colony's moving slow, but for all I know they got a whole bunch of brood down in the 2nd box. I'm not going to look at that right now. Wait till April for that. For now I'm just going to give them some pollen and put them back to bed. Now the next hive coming up is my roofer's hive. Had them open yesterday. Alright, here comes hive number 6. Which is my beautiful old blue roofer's queen. It's been so good to me. She's been a very hygienic queen. very prolific queen. She's going on three or four seasons old now. What do we got there? Oh, just some propolis. I'm just gonna set you guys down. And had one sink down on me. What do you got on ya? Nice frame of honey there. These girls aren't super excited to see me. Boy, and some of this propolis they bring in here is just red. It looks like blood red almost, some of it. Honey, open cells, and there is almost an entire side of a frame of open nectar or honey of some kind. I don't know what that is. They're working it though. Should taste some. Kind of tastes like maple syrup maybe. Okay. Let's see if there's any brood on this next frame. No brood there. No brood there. They got some fresh pollen going on, or probably chicken feed, dust. They've been working our bird feeders pretty hard. And our chicken food trough. Now there it is. A big frame of brood. That's a good, more than hand-sized patches. That's like 2 hands. That's nice to see. It would be even nicer to see the queen, old blue. We'll go over one more frame. It's funny how they don't brood centered up. There's more brood. It's even some, this is some drone brood. Big puff balls. Eggs. There's our queen. Old blue, she's a dark one. Blue dot on her. Well, this has me a little bit concerned. I got a stinger over here that I have got to get out. Okay. She is quite a star. I'm gonna get a photo of her. I was afraid of this day. I don't know for sure what's happening, but I hope she hasn't gone drone layer and run out of juice. Cheese! Okay, honey, where'd you go? There you are. Put you back in. I'm gonna look at this frame one more time and see what kind of brood is here. Cheese. Now this looks like normal brood. Cheese. That looks like normal brood. Trying to see if I see any baby bees. Yeah, not really. Well, it's interesting. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her. She is, this is her 4th season. And I've been wondering when and how she was going to start to fail. I hope this isn't her failing. I hope she's just ambitious and she's laying drones already. That would not surprise me at all. Okay, here comes hive number 2. Push this insulation down a little bit. Another hive that's showing kind of a saturated inner cover, and there's some wet green mold on the tape here, green and gray. Yeah, and lots of, see, there's water that's dripped down here. But I hear bees inside. Oh yeah, bees on all frames. Now this colony has a harbo queen in it. Well, it's not exactly a harbo queen. It did come from a harbo breeder queen, but she was received as a virgin and open mated here in the Gabbard apiary. Yeah, it actually all happened kind of late in the season. I see some brood. Just a couple of little puffballs there. And there's a couple open larvae Here, lots of royal jelly. I see eggs. Couple of eggs scattered around, some royal jelly. There's a couple new bees. Newbies. Set this down and try to be quick about looking at another one. Don't want to chill that brood too much. Need you guys to move a little bit. Not much on this side, some baby bees. This is a pretty empty frame. And that's a frame of honey. Let's look at the next one over. Some pollen, some honey in the corners. There's our queen. Her red has worn off. She is right there at the tip of my hive tool. Yeah, I think you can see her. Her red's wearing off, but she's there. She's fat. She's getting fat. So they've got her laying. Well, that's all I need to see. Put your brood back in there. It's nice in the springtime because queens are usually pretty easy to find. They're going to be right with the brood. So we're going to give them a pollen patty and close them up. That's our little Harbo queen. We're expecting big things out of her. Got that from Matthew Colby in Michigan. The Sustainable Beekeepers Guild of Michigan had we have kind of a Northern Queen initiative where they're trying to breed local queens and keep things sustainable. Okay, here comes hive number 4, which is a 3 deep styrofoam Reflectix insulation. We got some bees on top. We got lots of moisture on top and some nasty looking mold on top. Ugh. Dead bees in there. Yuck. It almost looks like a bumblebee. Could be, who knows? So let's see. I should take a photo of that. Oh yeah, there's plenty of bees in there though. Three deep, so this is the top box. This hive gave me the fits last summer. I thought they had swarmed. Tried to do a notch method and requeen them. I thought it had failed. I tried again. They broke down the queen cells. Couldn't figure out what was going on. Kind of gave up on them. Wasn't sure what to do. I was going to do a combine or something. Ended up coming back one day and they had brood. So, queens surprise you. They've got a little brood right here. They've even got a bee that's emerging. I don't know if you can see, but right there is a bee that's trying to get out. She's being born right now. And there is a fresh bee that was just born probably minutes ago. She's kind of whitish. There, she's poking her head out. She's trying. See her? The little antenna are sticking out. Let's look at another one. A lot of dark honey. Some large drone cells, nothing in them. Plenty of honey here. Let's look at this frame over here. Heavy. Brood. Brood and honey. Good patch brood here. Now I can't remember if I found and marked a queen or not. Holy cow. The more they move, the better it gets. Look at all that. It's a nice pattern for March 2nd. Similar on that side. Well, if they're laying like that right there, motorcycles are cool. Passing cars around a corner. Not seeing any brood here. Looks like some bees are working to oh, there she is. She is right there. Well, that was inspection of 15 colonies we did today. Pretty crazy for March 2nd to have that much brood going. I know they should have a little bit, but some of them really had some pretty large patches for this time of year anyways. So I'm just going to keep an eye on everybody. Keep a little bit of pollen patty going into them as they need it. Until these maple trees bloom, which I'm guessing will be about 2 weeks from today, based on their buds. The poplars have bloomed. They've got little, they look like pussy willows, but those have bloomed, so they're getting a little bit of pollen from that, I think. But the big maple tree pollen has not hit yet, so you may have noticed in some of my other stuff, I've got 3 different wintering setups going on with the insulation. There's the black cardboard, also called tar paper. Then there's the Hive hugger system, and then I've got my own homemade system of Reflectix with 1-inch polystyrene outside, and then 2 inches of polystyrene on top. So, and I've got brood minders in 4 of the tar paper and 4 of the Hive huggers. Those are all double deeps. So the goal this winter was to take a bunch of temperature and humidity data and see which performs better. I think it's pretty obvious that the insulated hives are going to perform better temperature and humidity wise, compared to uninsulated tar paper. Now this winter was pretty warm. We had a few cold snaps, but nothing really too terrible or too long. So this winter didn't turn out to be a great method of trying to determine whether the different wintering setups had more benefits over the other. I think we did see some differences in moisture, how the moisture boards worked versus how a sealed up condensing hive worked, as far as just seeing moisture on the woodenware. Now whether it's good or bad, I'm not going to get into right now. I'm sure that it's a little bit of both, good and bad. Either way, all 15 colonies survived. That's 100% survival rate for overwintering, and I'm happy about it. So again, I'm just going to keep going and keep an eye on the bees and figure out how and when I'm going to split and what I'm going to do with all these bees. So if you're watching this and you're in Minnesota and you need some hygienic bees, I'll have some available. Alright, thanks a lot. Happy beekeeping.